5 lights are on, it's lights out, away we go. Hamilton gets away well, and he's getting towards Max Verstappen now, tries to cover him off and pushes him to the left-hand side. Perez.
Trick or treat, Formula One fans! Welcome to Formula Pun Racer. As you just saw there, today is Halloween 2021. Are you ready to get some treats and hope that you can scare your little ones into getting some more candy for themselves? But I'm sure the biggest treat for all would be to give you my review on the USGP, which took place at Austin, Texas, this past Sunday, October 24th, 2021. Oh, and grab yourself a slice of Texas toast if you haven't already for my review on the race. It all started out when lights went out with Max Verstappen of Red Bull. With this race, the team would be sponsored by Acura, which is the North American division of Honda, taking the lead over from championship contender Lewis Hamilton, and he would sail away with it. But it wasn't a great start, I would say, for the Canadians of Nicholas Latifi of Williams and Lance Stroll of Aston Martin, shown here.
Ricardo. The two Canadians in what is arguably a home race for them.
Sandwich by the horse, man.
Tough break for the two Canadians, Latifi and Stroll, when all they wanted when they have the closest thing to a home race for themselves was just a good result, eh? And now that you just heard the laughter of John Candy there, it seems fitting because today marks what should have been John Candy's 71st birthday if he were still with us. So I say, John Candy of Canada, we miss you, we love you, and I hope you have a great happy birthday in heaven. We miss you, John Candy. You were the best. And it also sucks that today marks 1 year since Bond, James Bond, aka Sean Connery, passed away at the age of 90. Godspeed, Mr. Connery. And also, don't forget to call your son Junior, too. Now, to get back to the action of the USGP, after that tangle with Stroll and Latifi, a few corners later in that same lap, it would seem that AlfaRomeo and Alpine-Renault had a nice little tangle between Antonio Giovinazzi scraping alongside Esteban Ocon's left front wing, forcing Ocon to pull into the pits to replace it. But then, of course, history would repeat itself between the two teams, as 15 laps later, Fernando Alonso's Alpine-Renault came rubbing elbows with each other with Kimi Raikkonen's Alfa Romeo. But no harm done despite the note it was noted by the stewards. Unfortunately for the two Alpine Renaults and Pierre Gasly of AlphaTauri, they would be out with engine problems, the only retirements of the race. When all was said and done, between Mercedes and Red Bull, it was Red Bull that would come out on top to the delight of the crowds, as this USGP was in fact the second biggest attended audience in USGP F1 history. Who would have thought? And highly rated too in the TV ratings. How and why, I don't know, but the Austin, Texas race, thanks to the fact that more people are being vaccinated to get through this COVID pandemic, could mean that people were itching for some action, and they were definitely diving in to watch the USGP flock in droves to come to see Formula One racing in Texas. And with it now having a temporary street course next May in Miami, who knows if a third race in the United States is on the cards for Formula One. If they do, I hope they go to Watkins Glen, because that would be great. Because that's the closest I am to it when it comes to where I sit in the United States to see an F1 race. And it wouldn't be the first time that Formula One has raced at Watkins Glen. So that would be pretty neat to see, an F1 race in New York State. I hope it happens. But to get back to the racing, we can say that the Red Bulls were the talk of the race. With Max Verstappen on pole, he would lead from start to finish, despite the fact that he may have given up the lead at one point for a pit stop to Lewis Hamilton. But when all is said and done, it was obvious that Red Bull Acura had the better pit strategy and would take the lead and never let go. And I said, yes, I said Acura, because for this race, the Red Bulls and AlphaTauris, the sister team, had Acura logos on their cars instead of the traditional Honda, because for those who don't know, Acura is the North American division of the Honda company, so I guess it makes sense when you're in the United States to do that, and it gives Acura a good look too. So, as a result, Max Verstappen held on to the lead with a charging Lewis Hamilton, just finishing a little more than a second behind. And Sergio Perez of Mexico, Verstappen's teammate, would finish third in the race, with completely dehydrated because his water bottle line ran out in the race, so no doubt about it, he was relieved to get out of that car when the race was over. Quite an accomplishment for the Mexican, finishing third in such worn-out conditions, and I'm sure he had to be medically checked after that. But I gotta say, felicidades, Sergio, aka Checo, for putting on a strong third-place performance. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari would finish 4th. As for the other Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel would finish in the top 10, 1 lap down. As a result of the Flying Dutchman's latest victory, he now holds the championship lead over Lewis Hamilton by 12 points. Can he maintain this dominant form going into the next round, which is November 7th, at the Mexican race in Mexico City, the Mexican Grand Prix? Oh boy, that'll be something that the Red Bulls will be itching to win. And since you can't make a beefy meal without a bull, if Red Bull, be it Max or Sergio, wins, it'll give all the Mexican racing fans something exciting to talk about. When all is said and done, the majority of race fans who will flock to the Mexican Grand Prix will no doubt be cheering on Sergio Checo Perez in the hopes that he'll be the first Mexican to win the Mexican Grand Prix, especially at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which is named after the late Pedro Rodriguez, the only other successful Mexican in F1, and the latest before Sergio Perez to win an F1. Good luck, Sergio, and if not you, I hope at least Max can win it as well for Red Bull. Ole! That's what I say, hey? Now back to IndyCar news. There is some more stuff going on recently. BobbyRahal's 1986 March Cosworth car that won him the 1986 Indianapolis 500 has recently been added as a permanent part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum. Oh! In addition to Bobby's team, Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, the following drivers have been lined up full-time for his team for the 2022 season. Naturally, his little boy, Graham Rahal, who hopes to follow in his dad's footsteps to win the Indy 500. England's Jack Harvey, who has left Meyershank Racing. And if you love people from Denmark, grab yourself some Danish butter cookies, as Christian Lundgaard will be replacing Takuma Sato at Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan. So, full-time, we've got a Dane in F1, and I'm sure this Dane is one tough butter cookie. While it's true that at this point there are some drivers who might not have a confirmed ride at this point, if not a part-time ride for the whole season, if not the Indianapolis 500, I just hope that for your careers it's just a slight speed bump ahead. But I have no doubt that you're going to keep trying to look for a ride until the season's begun, and I'm sure you're certainly not going to... But then I'm sure some team owners are definitely running amok to find drivers for their 2022 lineup as well. At Andretti Autosport, Colton Herta and Alexander Rossi have been confirmed for next year, and Devlin DiFrancesco and Kyle Kirkwood are maybes, but also Romain Grosjean will replace Ryan Hunter-Reay in the DHL number 28, while the 2014 Indy 500 winner Hunter-Reay has been recently testing at Barber Park with Ed Carpenter Racing, so who knows if he might have a potential seat in the future with ECR Racing. Let's find out. Also, David Malikis, a former Indy Lights racer, has been testing with Dale Coyne. Nico Hulkenberg of Germany, former F1 driver, has been testing with McLaren Schmidt-Peterson, so that'll be great. A German in Indy cars for the first time since God knows when. And that's just a few of the drivers who have been recently testing for Indy cars for 2022, but there's a lot of drivers out there with no seats confirmed at this time, such as Juan Pablo Montoya, Connor Daly, Charlie Kimball, and AJ Foyt is not confirmed at this point if Bourdais and Kellett will return, but anything's possible. In addition, AJ Foyt Racing will expand its headquarters from both Texas and to Indianapolis as well, so they've got quite the lineup going for them. There were also rumors that Michael Andretti was in a bid to purchase out the Sauber team that runs the AlfaRomeo F1 team, but sadly, the price was just too much and the deal fell through.
Leaping legends!
But it would have been weird, because if it had gone through, it is most likely Andretti would have shoved Colton right into one of the F1 cars, but I highly doubt that he would have been in the right car to win F1. Plus, I want Herta to stay in Indy cars if you want my opinion, because He's looking good, he's doing well in Indy cars, and sometimes it's best to stay where you are at best, because just because you're best at one thing doesn't mean you'll do better in higher ranks, although I'm sure we can see that Herta has the potential to win races, as we know in the last 2 California rounds at Laguna Seca and Long Beach, and he has won more races than his own father, Brian. And I sincerely hope that he will continue to race out and win the Indy 500, but I'm sure F1 is one of Colton's biggest dreams. But I say to you, Colton, win the Indy 500 first, then go to F1 if you want to. But I want to see you win Indy, because I'll be there for 2022, and that's a fact. You too, David Land on YouTube, who I always look up to. And so let's see. Penske, as a result of leaving Simon Pagenaud to change with Helio Castroneves to Meyershank Racing full-time in 2022, the team is reducing their full-time efforts to just 3 cars for 2022. The confirmed drivers are Joseph Newgarden, Will Power, and Rookie of the Year, both the Indy 500 and the Championship, Scott McLaughlin of New Zealand. So far for Ganassi, confirmed is Dixon, Palou, Ericsson, and Tony Kananza maybe, but Jimmy Johnson, he's definitely hoping that it's becoming more and more likely that he will try to race on the ovals and qualify for the Indianapolis 500. I hope it happens, because a lot of people will come for some others, but I'll be coming to see you, Jimmy Johnson, among others. I hope you win. If not Palou or Dixon or Ericsson, so that would be great. And so far at this point, Patricio Ward and Felix Rosenquist are confirmed at McLaren Schmidt-Peterson. Dale Coyne has still to be confirmed who is going for his team. And there are rumors that Junko Racing and Carlin will join forces, but Callum Ilott will be their #1 driver, possibly teammates with his fellow countryman Max Chilton of England. Well, that's all I have for now for the Indy cars and F1 races. Thanks for watching my videos, and if you're ready to prepare for the next round, the Mexican Grand Prix, which is November 7th, thanks for watching, I say. Please subscribe to my channel, please comment, share with your friends, and get them to subscribe as well. And if you like my videos, I'm sure there's so much to talk about, as I just said. I look forward to hearing your comments, hope you like my videos, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.